Welcome back to the SolidWorks training series. My name is Dylan, and in this video I'm going to go over how to add relations to your sketches. Relations make it easier to fully define your sketch while still making it flexible to make changes to your parts in the future. In this video, I'm not going to go over any specific sketch. I'm just going to be drawing randomly so that I can demonstrate each relation. So to start off, I'm just going to be making a sketch on the front plane, and I'm going to be drawing in IPS because for now it doesn't really matter. The first thing that I'm going to start off by telling you is what not to do. Anytime you add a relation, there's always going to be this relation called fix, and you never want to use that one because it makes it impossible to make changes in the future. As you can see, if I try to drag it around, it says that I can't drag it because the line is fixed. And if I try to add a dimension, it gives you an error. So you never want to use that for anything. The first sketch relation that I'm going to demonstrate how to use is called vertical. To demonstrate this, I'll just draw a simple sketch, and the relation itself is pretty self-explanatory. So let's say I wanted this point and this point to be vertical to each other. To add the relation, just like any other relation, I'll shift-click the point that I want and the other point, and then I'll click vertical. Now, since I added this relation, you can see that it added this green box with a vertical line in it. Now, whenever I try to move this, it only moves up and down, and it doesn't move left and right. The next relation that I'm going to demonstrate how to use is called horizontal. I'm going to draw the same thing, but flipped 90 degrees. Now let's say I wanted this point and this point to be horizontal to each other. I'll just shift click this point and shift click this point, and then I'll add the horizontal relation. And then it adds this little green box with the horizontal line. So now whenever I try to move this point, it stays horizontal to the other point that I made it horizontal to. The next two relations that I'm going to go over are the perpendicular and parallel relation. Now, if you don't know or if you forgot what perpendicular or parallel means, perpendicular basically means that wherever two lines meet, the angle between those lines will be 90 degrees. And parallel means that the two lines will never meet. To demonstrate this, I'm just going to draw 3 lines like so. And I want this line to be horizontal, so I'll click this line and then make it horizontal. Let's say I want this line and this line to be perpendicular. I'll first click this line, then hold shift and click this line, and then I'll click the perpendicular relation, and then it adds the perpendicular relation right here. Now let's say I want this line and this line to be parallel. I'll click this one first, and then I'll shift click this line and add the parallel relation. Now, as you can see, it only moves up and down because it's parallel to this line, and this line only moves right and left because it's perpendicular, and the angle won't change. The next sketch relation that I'll demonstrate how to use is called coincident. It's really basic, and what it does is it basically makes any two sketch entities intersect. So that could be 2 points, or a point in a line, or a line in an arc. So let's say while I was drawing this sketch, I messed up, and I wanted this line to intersect with this circle. To make it coincident, I'll just click this point, shift click the circle, and then I'll click coincident. So now when I try to move this point, it only moves around the radius or the circumference of the circle. It can also be used to make two lines touch. So let's say I draw this, and while I was drawing, I messed up again, and these two lines were supposed to be touching. So I'll shift click this point and this line, and then I'll make them coincident to each other. So now this point will always be stuck on this line. The sixth relation that I'll go over today is called the concentric relationship. So basically what it does is, let's say you have two circles and you want these two circles to have the same center point. When I shift click both of these and add the concentric relation, it moves this circle so that its center point is the same as the outer circle. The last two sketch relations that I'll demonstrate how to use are called equal and midpoint. They're both pretty self-explanatory. One makes two things in a sketch the same length or the same size, and the other makes the point that you selected the midpoint of another line. So I'll make these two lines equal by clicking one line and then shift clicking the other and then making them equal. So now they're the same length. And then I'll make this point the midpoint of this line by clicking both of them and clicking midpoint. So no matter how long this line is, it'll always be the midpoint. The whole point of adding all these relations to your sketches is to make it easier to fully define your sketch and to make your sketches flexible in case you have to make any changes to your parts in the future. In the next video, I'll go over how to use some of the sketch features such as fillet or the mirror feature.